In my second book, Creatives Create, I focus on making the conversations and statement on how I perceive every single one of us is the artist of our own life. By every single choices that we make in our relationships, in our career path, in how we want to live our life, is a part of our artistic expressions. And I think we need to be intentional and conscious about the choices that we make. And understand that with each choice we make, it is the creative process of how we creating this journey of life that we are going to experience, going to learn, going to grow, going to interact with the kind of friends, people, circles, and professions that we want to get to know more about. Every single choice we make in life matters in a small ways or in a pretty big way. Many years later, sooner or later, we will feel the impact of every single decision that we make. And with or without you acknowledge or realizing it, you are already the artist of your own life. How you show up, the energy you are communicating every day with the people around your work environment and in your relationships is all a part of your expressions of yourself. I think a lot of time we lose that vision when we just going through the motions and forgetting about we are actually in a process of something that is very meaningful and very free. Because most of us, we get to decide which role we're going to take with our lives. The workforce environment, the occupations that we choose, the kind of people we want to spend time with, to learn more from, and to exchange energy with. All of that is part of our creativity. And I think most people forget about that because sometimes we get jaded, sometimes we get numb. Just going through every day and thinking, feeling it's just another day, but in fact, it is not just another day. If we change perspective, if we see every day as a new chance to shape and creative the life that we wanted to live, if we see every day as a brick that we lay down for the future home of our life that we wanted to create, then everything becomes so much more visual, meaningful, with substance, and it feels more real. So what we have to do is to connect with the idea that we are actually the artists of our own lives, and we need to be intentional about what we are saying with our lives. And if you're not feeling this painting of your life, of the sounding of this song of your life, if it doesn't feel beautiful to you anymore, then it is time for you to change. Take a new path, make new changes, try new things, change your group of friends, meet new people, expand your horizon. It's always good to change things up when you feel you are stuck in your life. I'll say don't be afraid to try new things, to meet new people. Be afraid of staying where you are struggling, drowning, and not feeling happy and joyful with each and every day that you are living in right now. That is the one thing that you should be scared of. Being creative with your life, seeing yourself as the artist, as the creative for your own life, is to understand that everything will come to realize by the action that you decided to take. I learned that this year by having more discipline, treating my creativity as something that I must do, because when you treat something as a habit, it is not going anywhere, but it will always just be a habit. But once you decided that you are serious about a new direction in your life, and you put in the schedule, you put in the time, you put in the discipline, you put in the efforts to combine them into your everyday activities and schedules, within weeks, within months, you will find yourself in a different place and becoming a different version of you that you haven't seen yet. And that person feels so familiar, yet so new and exciting. And I think that's what we need most of the time in life, is to explore new aspects, new versions of ourselves, of how we can be, how we can live, how creative we can be within the current structures in our everyday lives. There's always something new to do. There's always some new interests, habits, and passion that we can be disciplined, making schedule to do more regularly. And within time, it becomes a new skills. It might become a new direction that we wanted to take with our lives. So I think whenever you feel stuck in your life, it's always a good thing to take action, to try new things, to learn more perspective about what you're curious and passionate about. That can always give you new creative ways to express yourself as your own artist in your own life. As an artist of your own life, you are whoever you think you are. If you're not liking the expression, it's always okay to change at any time, at any point in your life. I know a lot of people have these perceptions of, it's too late for me. If I start now, I start so much more later than other people. How far can I go? And I think you need to change that perspective and to understand that as long as you're still breathing, you're still living, you're still on this journey of life, it is almost your basic respect for yourself and your own existence to keep exploring yourself, your interests, your habits, your creativity, to live the life, to experience everything you want, no matter how young or how old you are right now. It is not even a consideration to be think about, because you're still living. You see how sometimes when people going through very traumatic accidents in life, they sometimes have more resilience than us, the normal healthy people with all arms and legs, all abilities to talk, to communicate. Sometimes a lot of people lose that basic abilities through accidents, and they are more driven, more passionate about their lives, because through those traumatic experience, they come face to face with what life is all about. They came so close of losing it all, but after all, they're still here. They understand that they need to give them all to experience this life journey as much as they can. That's why they live. They are alive so much more than the rest of us. Their resilience and their strength oftentimes just extraordinarily inspiring. And if you ever been to the hospital like I did back in my 20s when my father was still here, I went to the hospital a lot because of my father. I saw a lot of elderlies and ill people spending their lives in their beds. And I'll be thinking to myself, they have no choice left. And life is cruel and so real sometimes. And what do I have to complain about with my life? With my life not living in a hospital beds? I think a lot of time when we get new perspective, when we see more, when we interact more, when we experience as much as we can with the reality of life, the sooner we'll be waking up to the fact that we really still have the best chance at life, at this game. We just need to get our mindset straight first, and then align our interests and passion into action, just one day at a time, and things will slowly change and evolve in a way that is going to make you feel more joyful about this thing that we call life. And sometimes we just struggle and suffer through. That is just wrong. That is just wrong. I think life is to be experienced, is to be creative with, and is to be the best expression that we wanted to give, to exchange with the world and with the people that we can get connected with. Life's supposed to be this courageous journey full of wonders, experiments, but within times we slowly forget about it. And that's not how we should go with life. For me personally, I think a lot of suffering and emotional distress can be resolved once you realize and understand that you cannot live and be limited in a bad feelings that you have and just stop living. You need to stop feeling, start connecting quietly, solitarily, independently with yourself. Connect with yourself again, having that honest conversation about what you want, what you love, what you need in your life, and create new direction and action towards that. It's just going to be a life changer. Have the determination, have the intention to be the best expressions of your own life, as the best artist you can be, to represent your own life. Make that decision, and your life is going to change. For me, it did. For me, ever since I decided to be reconnected with myself on my creative side, and when I decide to put in action, become more disciplined, more my creativity, in dedicating my free time after work, I really gained so much more than what I put in. I have become the most disciplined I've ever been, because the unhappiness of not being creative have been torturing me for the past 4 years. And when I face myself with honesty and just get back into the activities that I love, life just began to shift into the direction that I'm supposed to be on. Now I enjoy writing, sharing, having conversation about life, to connect with the people so much more. And I understand what I wanted to do musically. I've been writing and learning to produce music since I was 20, and I have never been really disciplined about it. It just always been a habit of mine, whatever I wanted to do. But after being disciplined on writing and having conversation about life, staying consistent, now I know the life that I want is to become a full-time creative independent artist in the future of my life. And that is my life goals now. And I am more determined than ever simply because I stopped feeling and just start putting actions into what I wanted to do every single day. That simple. So if you are someone like me who always crave to live a life with more freedom and creativity, I will encourage you to do the same. Dedicate your free time to explore, to learn, to try a new set of creative activities, explore the new possibilities in your life. That's how you stop feeling depressed and stuck in your own life. I think most of the time, the biggest lesson in our lives to learn is simply that to win the battle, to coexist with our distress, emotional disappointments, and a lot of unnecessary feelings that we are feeling. We just need to rise above that and to use that energy, transfer them into new activities and action that will instantly solve so many problems in your head, because you'll be focusing on trying new things, getting excited, getting anxious about moving forward with this new thing that you are learning. You'll be forgetting about all those unnecessary entanglements and feelings and failed relationships and disappointment. When you focus on your own growth, your own life, focus on how you want to refine your expressions and as your own creative director of your life, just shift your perspective for once in your life. Everything is going to change. That's how I feel for the past 4 months, ever since I've been disciplined and spending the time on expressing and communicating, having conversation on life and creativity. That's my happy place. So that's why I'll say, just do it now. Do it today. Start 5-10 minutes, have an hour, the next week. Everything will change with the equal efforts that you're willing to put into the change that you wanted to see happens in your life. So that's about this week's conversations. It's about taking charge of being intentional of what you are saying with your life as your own creative director of your own life. Take the wheel, take a new direction, try new things, evolve, having the revolutions of your life start today. Do something, do anything, and something magical, beautiful is going to change in your life within a few months. You are the artist of your own life, so do whatever it takes to make yourself proud.